I'd like to call a regular meeting of the Code Enforcement Committee, February 3rd, 2016, ordered. We don't need any introductions because nobody's here that isn't usually here. So can I have a motion for approval of minutes, or do we have any discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Number 3, discussion of team inspections, take any action necessary. 12 Chimney Crest, which the actual address was 189 Redstone Hill, Unit 12. I'll just give you an update. I think that's all resolved now. It was a case where the sewer had backed up and busted through the line and flooded the basement, human feces, whatnot. And so, to help Anne Marie in her office, the woman was, or is, has some issues, and hoarding's one of them. So she relocated to a hotel for a couple weeks, and I ordered the sewer break cleaned up and fixed, and we rekeyed the doors, and then turned it back over to the owner. And I think that's all said. Have you heard any more from her?
Nothing other than the fact that you and I are going to hell.
Oh, okay. I told her that before.
That was it. I referred her, I gave her everything she needed for referrals to different agencies. She had, at least in, I don't know, half a dozen times at her house, domestic violence stuff, so I did everything I could to give her what she needed for resources, but that was our last message.
That's good. I do want to thank the police department. The guys were great. Every time we need them, they're there. They, knew what was going on.
So she's back in there.
She's back in there, and we turned over. We keyed the doors, turned over the keys to her. In fact, I put a key on her key fob for her. She asked me to. So,
So the guys know.
yeah, they claim that she claims that her ex-husband, got the keys and she got in the house. Same old stuff. All right, number 4. Discussion of new properties of interest concern of committee members. I put these on. These are properties that 97 Prospect Street scheduled for demolition. We'll take it down as an emergency demo.
97 Prospect?
Yeah, that was that one when you had the flood. And Rob, I'm assuming the water's all shut off there?
Not that I know.
All right. You should probably know more than being...
I checked with my assistant this morning, and he said he didn't think it was.
No?
I'll verify and email you either way.
I
think the water department was out there when we were out there, so.
It may be shut off at the curb, but it's not disconnected for a demo. So.
All right, that's one if you can help me out with that.
Yeah, this is one I'll get it done.
All right. 123 Prospect Street. That's up the road. That's been since 2009. There was a fire, and then it was sold to this new guy, Mark Keller, who's been restoring it for the last 10 years, it seems. And he does a little bit of stop. So I revoked the permit. I sent him a letter saying your permit's revoked and we're going to knock it down again. So see what happens with that. 29 Prospect Place, that's scheduled to come down. We got 3 bids, and the lowest bidder was Libero. That should come through you, Rob, and that's a special one, too. That's why I wanted to mention that. The way the water is there,
Is this the
it comes
one
off
that's in the
another
back?
property. Yeah, it's that one way in the back.
It turns out it doesn't. It's got its own service.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we did a little more research on it. So I know it's not disconnected at this point, but I'll verify that one too.
All right.
Who's the contractor for 97?
Carpenter's going to be a contractor. Dave Haberfeld, are you here? 147 Hull Street.
I do have an update on that one for you. Their deal did fall apart, and they're still trying to work it out. Pat Snow is still trying to purchase it, but at this point they don't have a closing date scheduled.
Did you talk to Pat Snow?
I did.
Oh, really? Because Charlie says they're not going to buy it.
Yeah, at the moment the deal is off, and I told Pat that I would take it if he did not want it, but he said he was still
Right.
pursuing it.
I'm going to solicit bids for that to demo it. I'm not going to wait too much longer. I'm going to wait like a couple weeks.
About
That's
2
it.
weeks?
Yep. So, if you can get a hold of the Realtor, I called her several times, she doesn't return my call.
That Realtor has no, I don't think she has any listings that are less than like $1 million. She's a little out of her element on
Right,
that street.
and the lawyer says that it's the Realtor who has control over the sale of it, and she doesn't know anything about it, so they're going to show up there one day, there's not going to be a house, I guess. But if you want to buy it, somebody wants to buy it, they better got to do it right away. Bad shape. All right, number 5, new business by committee members. I got an email from Karen. Let me get this. She has 2 hoarding properties, Anne Marie, and she said here that she wants us to set up team inspection, but I think she wants you and her to contact the people first,
Really?
so we'll wait before we set them up.
You want me to email her?
Yeah, I sent you a copy of this email, 34 Beths Avenue, Unit 49, and 135 Summer Street, and that complaint came from the police department.
Okay.
All right. So I'll wait before we set up, but everybody knows about them. And then she just mentioned for Noel that she has tickets, so I'll drop off some from this week. Does anybody have any new stuff, Tom?
I have none. Tim? Nothing.
Really? Oh, 23 Epsom Street, you want me to update you on that? I sent an order out. Did you get the copy of the order?
No.
For porches.
Yeah.
So, gave him 10 days. Tom?
Yes, I have a short list here. 225, 227 East Main Street in Forestville, we got a call that there was an individual living in the business portion of that building. I went out and verified a gentleman and his dog were living there. The rear of the building, you know where that is? About down in Forestville Center, on the left-hand side, heading towards the highway. It used to be an old country store.
Okay.
And
We framed the building, right?
yes, yep. It's got 2 businesses in front, and then in the back, it's got a residence.
But it was all vacant, wasn't it?
Well,
Besides-
there is people living in the back.
The storefronts are empty.
Yes, supposed to be. So this guy was living there. I contacted the owner, told him they had to move out. So we checked back this past week, and the dog was still there, but the guy was out. They're going to be out of there. So just so you guys are aware, that's 225, 227 East Main Street. Nobody's supposed to be living in the storefronts in the front of the building. Just an update on 5052 Washington Street with the sinkholes in the driveway area. We hired a contractor to go out there, or just
Well, I asked them to give you a
investigate
look,
it.
and if it's more than 3,000, then I have to do an emergency bid request
Okay. All right.
to the Board of Finance, so it's probably going to be that, but,
Yeah.
so we started the ball running.
Yeah, well, the owner's been notified.
Is the water line near there, or any?
No,
Rob was actually the one that reported it.
yeah, I actually mentioned to Tom a minute ago too. What alerted us to it is across the street is the condo complex. They had 2 sinkholes in their driveway and didn't know what to do, so they called us. I went out there and I got engineering out there to take a look at it. No one really knew what it was, but if you look at it, those sinkholes line up with this one on the other side of the street. Makes me wonder if there's an old abandoned line in there or something of that nature. I don't know. So if you want to let the contractor know, you probably should do a little explore for
Yeah, that's,
what's causing it.
That's good information. Because the resident didn't respond at all, right, Tom?
Nothing.
No. His cone keeps dipping lower every
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
weeks.
Figure you get a call or something.
24 Birch Street, that's a vacant house. We're having that cleaned up if you want to grab the barrels there.
Birch?
Birch, yeah. 24 Atkins, that's the one where they haven't paid the water bill in a long time. The water's off there.
Okay.
So we're going to, guy did the paperwork and post that today for condemnation, correct?
Right.
Okay. 89 Surrey Drive, that's vacant too. That's property we've had cleaned up over the years, boarded up. Water's probably off there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, so you can grab the barrels there too, Dave.
Good.
Thank you. We did a re-inspection at 148 West Street. That first floor apartment's all set, ready to go. We're just waiting for the third floor apartment. They're going to renovate that, so nobody should be renting the third floor. Remember we went out there, Tim?
Yeah. We never got into the third floor because they were never there.
Yeah, I mean, that was as far as the kitchen. That was far enough for
No,
them.
I didn't get past
That was bad.
the exterior.
But they're out of there.
Porch.
It's vacant now, so. 13 Landry Street, that's a 4-family, 4 or 5. We're having the front and rear porches repaired as opposed to replaced. So it's going to just be, there's not going to be any plans or anything on it. They're just doing some structural work, repairs. So is that something you want something on from the contractor, or?
Well, I mean, basically, all I need to know is they're fixing them. If they're fixing them according to what needs to be done by code. Now, in this case, she can actually fix that to existing dimensions.
Right.
That's how we're looking at anything new.
Okay.
Yeah, so as long as it's okay with the building department, that what she's doing is up to code, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
If you gave her existing...
It all comes back to us.
Yeah. So,
Well, if she's going to...
Yeah, we're not going to have her submit plans for something that you guys...
right, they're not, it's not a total tear down or
Right.
rebuild. So we're
Yeah.
having them do repairs there.
Yep.
If we were in the same office, we could have asked you this.
And then while Dave's here, 110 Prospect, when we were over there looking at those other Prospect buildings, there was a lot of debris out in front of the house there. I think Guy had some questions.
Yes, I have, there's a picture out on the counter in our office, and we're at 123 across the street. Across the street, and, our upstanding citizen here,
I'll take care of
there's
it.
all these garbage bags in front. And that's been about a year now, so we should wrap it up soon.
It's almost done.
Okay.
It's almost done.
79 North Pond Street, we had a couple of, the contractor came in, pulled permits, had the front porches repaired. That was a complaint that
Oh,
came
yeah.
in from the tenant. That's it. That's all I got.
Rob?
I don't know if it's new or old business.
Well,
Probably the same. But first, I got to thank the Court Counsel, Dan Guy, 116, 122 High Street, paid us in full.
yes, that's right.
So, with Court Counsel's help, so we're out of it on that one. And there's a couple other properties the same property owner has paid up, so.
Now, are those you just turn the valve back on and they get water back on? Or?
The water is off right now and there because they complained of a leak. It was off already. I think it was probably a frozen pipe or whatever
Right.
was sitting in the pipes.
Yeah.
As well as whatever the address, 79 Park. Is that the same one? It's Anthony's.
Yeah. Karen, that's when Karen was working on it.
Yeah, that one also supposedly had a leak, and he asked us to shut that one off, so we shut that off.
There's 71 Divinity, too. Anything with that you can think of?
Maybe it was 71 Divinity.
I think maybe that's what it was, yeah.
I always think of the one on Park Avenue. But he's paid us on numerous properties, so at this point, if that's holding up building permits, just check with us.
Yeah, yep.
Pretty much paid up, so. 23 East Main, you and I kind of discussed it, Guy. That is the across from San Dremos there.
Yes.
He came in to see me, wanted to take the structure down without disconnecting the water. He was, after a 45-minute conversation, explained that he still has to disconnect the water no matter what. So we'll wait and see what he says.
Right, and I told him if he didn't do it on his own, I was going to order it done. It'd probably cost more, but so then he hired, Greg Vero says he hired him to do it. Greg hasn't come in for any permit, so we have to put some pressure on him and find out what's going on.
He left it with me that he was just going to let you take it down, I think. So that was the end of the conversation. It was easier for him just to have you do it. But But either way, it's got to be...
You got the green light.
Why didn't he want to shut the water off?
He doesn't want to go out into the road to disconnect it. So he tried every means to say that he was going to build something else there. The service is so old, it doesn't meet our current code, so it's not conforming at that point. It can't be reused anyways. So he's got to disconnect it.
And that's a state road, right?
I don't know if that's a state road anymore. Sherry, is it still?
I would think so.
I thought when the highway came through that we took over the old 72.
East Main and Broad, right?
Yeah, I thought that became a city street at that point. But when the neighboring building was collapsed, I don't remember if it was a state road or not.
Right, you say,
I think that's a city road, I think we just need to do something on that.
Yeah, I thought it was a transfer when the highway came
Right.
through that the city was taking that. So,
Well, find out when we go, if we disconnect it, do we got to ask the state or?
if we do it, the contractor's got to still get a hold of the state to get a permit, no matter what. No matter who does it, the permit's got to be...
But if it's not a state road, they don't have to,
They
right?
don't have to. So somebody might be able to clarify that and quote us with a name.
Right.
That's
Anything
all.
else?
That's all I got. It's more than last month.
That's true. Dave?
Nope. A couple new graffiti spots, but other than that...
Yeah, working on that stuff. Tom sent some letters out
Yep.
for the
I sent letters out, and I just, we'll talk later, guy, but like the railroad bridge at Matthew Street, we call the railroad company.
Yeah, Bob had all those.
I'll have a good shot.
Yeah. Bob, we need Bob back.
We do.
Bob, what about Bob?
Our structure at Malty and Stafford got hit. We'll get it cleaned up next week or so.
You get the vacant property list. Tom and I were talking about that. Would you want to pick up the barrels off that list, or you just want us to keep telling you when we go and...
Or it helps to tell me when you're made aware of them, or when
Yeah.
you're playing demos, that helps a lot.
Because I don't know, neighbors use them, or, they're always full.
Yeah, we should take them back,
Okay.
because otherwise that's what happens, they disappear. I mean, there's a house on Park Street, 3-family, there's 6 barrels out front today.
But nobody's there in the house?
Well, there's 3 families, but there's 6 barrels out, so...
You got to pay for the extra one, right?
You're supposed to be paying for the extra one.
Per unit, yeah.
So I'm sure it came from another property somewhere. So, yes, I'll continue to inform you.
Right. And that guy on, what's that, Bono Pizza on Farmington Avenue? Maroney, yeah. Came in, he was complaining that, did you ever talk to him
Yeah,
again?
he did end up calling.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm sorry, you were tagged multiple times." He
Right.
said he was away on vacation.
Right.
And, but
Right.
his tenant should have got the information because the doors were tagged as well.
All right, we stuck our guns, we just didn't clean up.
Yeah, I talked to him about cleaning the graffiti. He did that right away.
Hmm.
He said, I talked to you about it. I said, "No, talk to me." That got cleaned up right, was a couch and a couple of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it.
Yeah.
May I have anything else?
That was it.
You don't want to bitch about anything, or? Okay. Monica, give us something. You write about 100 letters a day, so
That's zoning enforcement.
what's going on? How about zoning as far as code enforcement? Don't be shy. What about that Stevens Street one?
427?
Yeah.
We sent it over to court counsel. We fined them, and we're due in court. We're waiting to get an answer back from them. The guy just would not comply. So,
And just fill everybody in. It's about, he has 2 miniature horses and a camper in the front yard, and
pretty sure you've seen it. He has an RV in the front yard, 39 foot. He has 2 horses in the rear. He needs 2 acres to have the 2 horses, and he's under an acre. And he came in, gave me a song and dance after I sent him a letter. Said he was going to get rid of the horses, said he was going to get rid of the RV, and so I gave him a week, an additional 3 weeks. Mind you, this has been going on since, the end of June?
yeah.
And he just wouldn't do anything, so I started fining him, and then I'm like, he didn't respond to the fines, so I just said, we're gonna have to take him to court because and he still hasn't removed the RV or the horses. And there's no telling what's behind the house or whatever else, but,
We were back there.
What, a long time ago?
Yeah.
But-
that was
Yeah.
yeah.
That's Ralph Landret's old house.
Yes, all right, that's right. Yeah.
Remember? You know the house now? Ralph's old house.
I do.
Yeah.
So in that case illustrates what we have to go through under zoning regs to get something corrected. You've written out tickets,
Yes.
and it's going on for months and months. He applied for variances and
He didn't follow through.
didn't follow through, right? So,
Yeah, so he, and I guess the part that I was really upset with him about, because he was claiming that he has post-traumatic stress syndrome, and maybe he does, he was saying he was in the military, but, you know, there's different ways that he can get therapy, and he was saying that the horses were his therapy, which may be true, but he didn't follow the correct procedure, and I guess the rumor is he's supposed to be a veterinarian.
what?
Yeah, so
Maybe military vet.
maybe, I don't know. But he just, I mean, he knows the rules. We've explained it to him, what he needs to do. So it's not like he didn't know. He just wanted to ignore us. I don't know what his problem is, but, you know, now we have to take it to court, so.
He's obtained counsel too, so.
Oh, he did? Oh, he has money for counsel.
Yeah, he's got money for counsel.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna have to file an injunction and fight with the attorney. It's gonna be a
So
drag-out
he
one.
probably could make those horses companion animals, right? And get the waiver on that?
He's gonna get it certified.
Yeah. I mean,
Gotta get a medical
He
certification
should
for it.
have applied for the variance. He went before the board, but the board required him to have a survey. He said he couldn't afford a survey. That- So the ZBA ended up denying his application because he came to one meeting and it was postponed. And in the last meeting, he never showed up. So,
Just someone who wants to fight.
yeah.
Okay, bring it on.
So that's it.
Thank you, Monica.
You're welcome.
You're doing a wonderful job.
Brian.
Tom?
106 Laurel Street, is it appropriate to bring that up under old business?
Yeah, should we go to old business now and then?
Oh, I wasn't
I
sure
don't
if you
know.
were doing
What's
that
the
or not.
difference?
Huh? Am I skipping? Am I skipping your agenda?
Anybody, do you have any new business?
I have old.
What's that, old? Okay, yeah, let's go to old business. Number 6, because that's one away from number 7, which is adjournment.
This was an application back in 2014. I went out and I inspected it in the last couple of weeks. It's cookie cutter standard assessment for East property where there was a lot of debris in the house. Minimal work was needed on the outside, and David has done a good job with it. Brought in some new tenants and refreshed everything on the inside. So my recommendation would be to approve.
Who owns that, Dave, Tom? I almost
Dave
gave it
does
away.
current-
I knew who owned it.
Dave does currently.
Did he actually finish it?
The only thing that you were waiting for was something from the fire department.
Oh, fire alarm system has to go in. I got my modification recently. And
Yeah.
then my fire...
So you want your tax freeze without your fire alarm?
No, I want it as soon as the fire alarm system is done, please, and inspected, of course.
There's 107.
Dave, do you have a contract already?
I thought it was 107.
Dan from Allstate is contracted to do it, but I don't have an installation date yet. I think I'm waiting for approval of plans.
Okay. Have we seen any plans for an alarm system for that? The 106?
I know, I'll look today.
I don't remember seeing any, so.
Oh, all right, well, that'll be a problem. I'll call him.
But Dave, I'd appreciate it too if you have Karen walk through, because there was that unit that was condemned there and
Sure.
was in bad shape, and especially if you're going to reoccupy it.
Sure. Whole thing or just that one unit?
Well, it might be good to go through it. I'll usually go with her when she goes
Okay.
through the whole thing.
Okay. I'll try to do it at the same time as
Yeah.
when Tim goes through for the fire system.
Right.
So that way I can do it once,
Yeah, that would be good.
because they're all full.
Because Tom, you've gone through it.
You remodeled that other
You're
apartment?
recommending it, so.
Yeah, also, the bottom of it was not. 'cause
It
I
must
saw
be all right if
things.
Tom says it's good.
So be dependent on us going through again.
Yeah.
Probably a month or so.
A month, huh? Should we put it off for a month? This text?
Well, we don't have any plans, so yeah, put it off to next month.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go back and look, but I don't remember seeing it.
When's the council meeting's next week, right? So you can't take care of it before then? 'Cause we gotta know, Michelle's gotta put it,
Probably not. We should probably put it off a month.
all right. No. Anything else, Tom?
That's it, thanks.
Well, Sherry? No? Carriage?
Well, yeah, we had a couple of appeals, and Mr. Cirillo came in and kindly cut their fees in half.
Those are, and appeals were from the stores? Store managers?
Yes, I had issued some citations. One was saying it wasn't their cart. The other one said, never mind.
So,
So he cut them in half.
do you think that's going to change their behavior, though?
I think they got the message now, and I'm not going to let him keep cutting my fees in half.
Well, the first one, he really didn't know the whole situation.
Yeah, I know.
And since then, we've gotten together to
Yes.
be able to share information prior to the appeal hearing, so that he has all the information
Oh,
in
good.
front of him,
Yeah.
so he can make a proper decision.
Yeah,
So,
it was a learning
I don't
curve.
think that'll happen.
All right.
Yes,
That's good.
it is.
All right.
I'm generating revenue, though. I'm making sure that
No.
I'm generating revenue.
No, it really is. You really don't see the carts out there very long anymore, so.
Is it still there? Well, you have to call me and tell me. Call me and tell me.
Right outside my door.
There's no market.
Yeah.
I do, yeah. My mean street.
Anne Marie, do you want to give yours?
92 Harrison, I just want to know
Yes.
if the owner called to do an inspection or not.
We haven't heard, and that's what I was wondering about the fire department. And 92 Harrison Street, second floor, we want to put a relocation tenant in there. And she says it's pretty, Anne Marie went there, it's pretty much done. It's just, we want to be able to give her at least a TCO, so egress has got to be good and
Well, I
fire
haven't been
separations.
back since I walked through with Don, so I know that he was aware of them trying to, you guys trying to use it as a relocation. But
Yeah, because I spoke to
I
Don.
haven't walked through it since the last time we were there when he was going to check.
She has to schedule an inspection. It's up to the applicant, to the
All right,
person
I'll
who
get in
owns
touch
the
with her today. I figured she would have called you guys by now.
Yeah, no.
I haven't heard a thing, and I know that Don mentioned it, but like we haven't heard a thing, so.
Okay,
At least not from Ann.
right.
Can you touch base with her?
I'll email her today.
'Cause-
I mean, she's got, that whole place got renovated, so she needs a whole
The second floor,
inspection.
yeah, the second floor is good to go. I don't think the first and third are.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's even gonna work. If she's got appropriate ways out, fine, but
Right.
I know one dumps out into the same area as the other one.
Well,
But she
most of that-
completely renovated all that, which I wasn't.
Well, the rear stairs that we went up to get to the second floor were all new,
All right, well, like I said, I haven't been back.
but I'm not in.
But I would need to see it, or I know I'd have to go in the building just so I have to see it.
All right, I'll touch base with her today then. I don't have any other relocation
Really?
plans right now.
That's good.
Keep saying vacant. Vacant, vacant.
No, it's going to stay that way this week because Richard's not here. No.
Okay.
No, that's right, no.
You made a promise.
I promised him,
No.
yeah.
For this week.
For this week at least.
Any old business, any more old business? Hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Wait,
Yes.
so I just had one thing to ask about, if it's not too late. Last month I asked about a dumpster on the sidewalk at 255 Main. Is there anything that can be done about that, because it's still
Well,
there?
my office and Health Department and Public Works called them and told them to move it. They moved it and they moved it back. So I just went by there yesterday or the day before. I saw it was back out on the sidewalk. haven't gotten back to that guy, but I think I got his phone number again. I'll call him.
So,
But Karen Wagner called them and told them to move it back. I think Dave, at your office?
Send a letter.
I don't know how much of that.
And it must be the dumpster company that comes, empties it, and puts it back on the sidewalk. That's the one you're talking about, right?
Yes.
255 Main,
Right
it's
on the
on the
corner,
sidewalk.
Summer.
Yeah, it's very, the building's on the corner, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, when they get notified about that, how long do you usually give them to move it?
We tell them to move it right away, so, and they did move it after we called them, I don't know, last week or the week before. Same time as that, they're working across the street. And even the one in 17, some of Pat Snow's, that had gotten moved out too. You know, we told everybody moving back in. It's like daily, they have to go there almost. There's nowhere for the dumpsters to go, so they end up, you know. Probably what happens is they come to empty it, and there's a car in the park there, so they just leave it on the sidewalk. I don't know. But let me call him again. This guy's name is Mike, I think, right?
I wasn't in touch with him directly, I just met him.
Yeah. And then he's got to call the dumpster company to come and move the dumpster, you know. I don't know what the resolution is with that.
So, you have been able to get in touch with him and he's been responsive?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have any jurisdiction over a dumpster on the sidewalk, the code enforcement under the property maintenance code. So we couldn't issue him a ticket for that. Is there anything in ordinance that would?
Don't we have a streets, couldn't streets do that, Dave?
Possibly, yeah.
I think we could cite them.
Sidewalks fall under streets, I think.
So I wonder if we got a few tickets, then maybe they'd say, okay, I got to come up with a resolution. But I know the parking's tight, right, Dave? It's right across the street from, you're still on?
Yeah, they have the ability to not put it on the sidewalk, but it's the driver. The driver picks it up, puts it down, doesn't really pay attention. I mean, that's all it is.
I wonder if we put a call into the sanitation
I'll
company.
try to give him a call.
All right.
That would probably get resolved
All right, we'll
better.
take care of that, Tom.
Well, oh yeah, thanks, I appreciate that, but just in general, if I see dumpsters on the sidewalk, you said that's not really a
You
code
can get
enforcement?
right, you can get a waiver from Public Works for that. If they have a project going on, there's nowhere else to put it, right, Sherry?
Oh,
They can apply, yes, they could apply if they wanted to go against the ordinance. But between Bob Booton as the sidewalk inspector and streets, I think we can enforce that.
All right. When I get back to my office, I'll send an email out to everybody to say who's ever responsible. And if I have the contact number, I'll put that on and then try to get that, but they don't continually do it. But there's always going to be something.
Oh, okay, well, thanks for looking into that.
And then a little update on 110 High Street. He didn't replace retaining walls and stuff. That we're still working that out with him.
The 5-family?
Yeah.
Okay.
That came to mind. I don't think, is there anything else on High Street? We have 116, 122.
I haven't been back to High Street since we walked to it.
Right.
I don't think he's done a thing, from what I know. He's got a new partner. Are you privy to that? Eduardo Garces?
No.
All right, well, that's his new partner.
But he's not legally a new partner yet.
Huh?
He's not legally a new partner yet.
Okie dokie then. That explains why then. Supposedly, according to yesterday, he was telling me that he was partners on 12 of the 14.
Yeah, not legally.
Can check on it.
So there's nothing that's in writing that says that, so technically he's still the landlord to the tenants that he's working with. I had a whole tenant-landlord dispute, and he tried to pass everything off to Eduardo, but there's nothing in writing anywhere legally that says that Eduardo is a partner. So.
Yeah, because he's fluffing everything off to Eduardo and the other 2 properties I got.
Maybe down the road it'll happen legally, but it's not legal right
And then you do the
now.
same thing
So not knowing road.
with Jesus, or
Yeah.
who was the other guy?
Jesus is for Camerari. This guy's Roden. Bob Roden.
Oh.
He took Eduardo's offer over mine.
Yeah.
That's surprising, Dave.
more thing, just for informational purposes. We started foreclosure actions on Mr. Al Genovese property.
Oh, we did on 44 County?
What about Lear?
And there,
Lear too?
I believe so.
Okay, very
Both
good.
of them, what? Oh, you see your name.
You see, there's all these other things.
Oh,
that are
yeah, there's good one.
Well, I mean, the meetings are much shorter than they were the last couple of years, though. Now that you mention 116, 122 High Street, I had asked last month about the dumpster there, and it actually was removed, but only for about a week. And now they have 2 dumpsters back there. One of them is really large.
Construction, right.
Did they actually pay any taxes recently?
Yeah, they paid their taxes and water.
They paid taxes and water, wow.
So
Just
then
as-
we had to release the permits at that point. He
So-
says he's going to restore it, so.
So what permits do they have for 116?
That whole back wall and the fire escapes have to be removed and rebuilt. The back wall is just rotted. So apparently he's going to,
And did they, part of the condemnation, I think, was not just the fire escapes, but you didn't have a fire alarm system. Is that in there?
Yep.
they've been working on that a little bit at a time.
No, the alarm system's in,
Is
it's
it?
just, he's gonna have to, unless they, I mean, according to what he did, it's fine for the building before he starts to do any real fixer-upper work.
Before he reoccupies it, it has to meet minimum fire and building code, so.
Okay, well, again, thanks for looking into that, too.
Before we adjourn, 2 questions. 22
I'm glad that I said,
Yeah.
any more business, everybody said no.
22 High Street,
Yes.
is there anything new with that?
He wants us to walk through with him, and I said that, contact Don in your office. They've been doing work in there like demolition and cleaning up, electrical work, plumbing, and he wants to show us what he's been doing so far. There was the retaining wall issue on the side that just, it's been awful because the neighbor doesn't like what he's doing, I have to stop him, and, it goes back and forth. So, because the wall's right on the property line, you can't do anything unless he goes on their property. So,
That's on the high side?
on the low side, yeah. On the high side, he cited that, was it 3032, and then he's going to repair the front porch on 36. So he's doing work on the next 2.
So he's working on all 3 buildings?
Yeah. But it's going, again, really slow.
Yeah, I'll talk to Dave when I get back. I don't know if Don, he's contact Don or Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, the email I sent him was contact.
Does he have power in the property right now or no?
Yeah, I got a temporary service back there.
All right, we'll look into that.
Okay.
What about the retaining wall on Park Street? Anything new?
Yeah, that should be done this week.
For
I was going to
Street?
stop there tomorrow. Oh, no, wait a minute, no, not Park Street. That's South Street extension. Park Street, Tom talked to him.
Yeah, the contractor came up with a solution. He wants to tie into that drain on the abutting property and tie it into Sixto's drain leader area. So we need to get the parties involved together and see if they can work that out. The guy wants a plan before anything goes forward.
We don't know where that water goes.
Where it comes from or where it goes?
Or the Sixto's, the guy that owns the house in front, he's got a drain or something. We got to know where that goes and if it's big enough to.
So they have to do a dye test to see if his leaders, his drain leaders are tied into sewer line or if it's possibly tied into the brook. We don't know.
We've been real lucky that this winter's been as warm as it
Well,
has.
it's got to cool down a week or so. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
They did re-divert it back to the guy's backyard.
I saw that.
Yeah, so it's not on 72 Park Street anymore, so.
Anything else? Really? Anything else? Oh, so we we had a motion to adjourn, and second, we just got to all vote to adjourn.
Aye.
Okay.